let's get started. Hey, Jen Z.
Yes.
It's kind of snowy out here right now. Have you noticed that?
And a little cold.
Yeah, that's because it's November 15th in St. Louis, or at least near St. Louis. We're here at the Heimos Poinsettia trial, Heimos and Millstadt young plants in western Illinois, and it snowed last night, about, I'd say 4 inches or so. It's chilly, it's pretty, but inside it's warm and it's colorful. So let's check out some poinsettias. Well, we've got a few stats from Adam Heimos, our go-to guy here, and they've got 5 different breeding companies represented. Suntory's one of them with their Euphorbias, which are like poinsettias. They've got, I think, 140 different varieties, down a bit from last year. Heavy on reds this year, especially with the new ones. Only, what they say, 20 pinks, Jen? Something like that. So, it really seems to be a year of reds, also some white introductions, and a few other novelties we'll show you. And I think the main message I got that was kind of interesting is that the poinsettia market right now is flat. And in a flat market, all you can really do is steal market share, either from your own varieties or from a competitor. So most of the breeding work we're seeing right now, and of course there's breeding work going for really unusual novelties, but most of the breeding work tends to be going after a specific category that's an existing category where there's already a dominant variety, and one breeder wants to take market share from another. So some of the varieties we'll see are like, we're going to compare them to the market leader. And of course, there's always that market for a really unusual novelty, but I'll tell you what, in this day and age, it better be good, because growers are not going to deal with a dog on the greenhouse that they can't grow. So that's why novelties today are few and far between, but when we do see them, they're interesting. So we're going to start with, well, let's start with B for Beacon Camp. All right, Beacon Camp, from whom we have 3 introductions, and the first one is right here. It's called Robyn. I asked why robin, but then you think, ooh, a robin is red. Red robin, red-breasted robin, but it's spelled differently, and that's because it's named for the star. Robyn is a star, apparently. But this is Robyn the poinsettia. Now, let me consult my notes, because I'm certainly don't have all this memorized. A nice early variety, 7-week variety. The sign says 8.5, but it's actually a 7-week early variety. Good for Black Friday. And it's a good bench run sort of a plant. You can grow 4-inch to 6-inch pots. And one other thing I say about it is it's a really good brancher, and if you pinch it for 4 bracts, you might get 5 or 6. So if you're growing it as a 4-inch, be careful, because you might get 6 or 7 bracts on a very small pot, especially if you space it tight. So it's a good vigorous variety. Let's see, early, uniform, and even for bench run. So those are the attributes of Robyn. Next, we're going to look for a numbered hot pink variety. I think it's around the corner. PON 107 is what Jen Z found it. Hot pink. When you see a number, it means it's experimental. This is I think a 2019 intro. This is, well, you can see it's later. It's an 8.5-week variety. It's also had maybe just a little bit of heat delay on it. These were black cloth. But there you can see the deep hot pink color, which they say, rather than fading to a pale pink and kind of getting washed out, actually fades to a red. It would be interesting to see how that does. A couple of other attributes: very upright, nice vase shape, and very sturdy too. There's a ring on there, and the branches are not even touching the ring. Kind of a nice medium green color too. Now they say this is primarily for northern growers because of the potential of it would be very late in the south, and it could have heat delay problems. So not that you couldn't grow it down there, but maybe more for the northern market. All right, now we've got one more numbered variety, a white one, that we're going to go looking for. The whites are over there. And of course, we were just over there with the reds. You know, it's funny, Jen Z doesn't do numbers, as she'll tell you, but she's pretty good with finding the numbered varieties. She spotted PON 112. This is well, they say this is really their first new white. Their other white varieties, the name of which I can't recall, has been around for a long time, like 20 years. So this is their first new breeding in white. No name yet, just PON 112. Attributes, 7.5 week, a nice strong plant, again, that good upright vase habit. Good medium green color, so it should contrast nicely with those, typical creamy white bracts. So this one is also can have some heat delay issues if you're not careful. But other than that, looks like a nice new white for Beacon Camp. Well, if we were going alphabetically, we'd probably be doing Dooman next, I think. But we're going in order of when we were able to grab a trial expert, a poinsettia expert, to take us through their trials. And in this case, it was Syngenta after Beacon Camp. So we're going to start with Syngenta. Scott Valentine did remind us that the big story for them is two of their last year's introductions, which were Mirage, we're looking at it right here, very nice red, and Lyra, another red that are in full production now and really doing well. And that's important because the first year introduction is, for all breeders, is really a trial introduction, because unless a grower adopts it, puts it into their production, it's not going to make it really into the marketplace. So it gets launched. If it gets adopted, then the breeders start pushing it, and Mirage and Lyra are in that category. But as far as new introductions, upcoming stuff, well, there's a couple of candies here, Jen. Want some candy? Mm-hmm. All right, I think those are over that way. Over there. Whew, I think I've done 3 miles already. Just we're on the second breeder because everything's scattered around the greenhouse. But that's okay. We're having a good time. And we are looking at a new introduction for 2019 from Syngenta called Candy Wintergreen. And it's right next to Dooman Orange's Green Envy, which we will talk about later in the video, which to me would say this is not a white, this is a greenish white. Now actually it's a little more white now because of heat delay. Warmth or heat will bring out the white in a poinsettia. If you want to get it greener, more like Green Envy, you finish it cooler. And but otherwise, let's see, a few attributes. It's upright. See if I can get it in here. Like all of the genetics seem to be nowadays. It's an 8.5 week, kind of a mid-season, good and sturdy, which is critical these days. And again, nice bracts. Right now it looks like a standard white, but if you finish it cool, you should get a little bit of a green tinge to it. Now the next one we're going to look at is called Candy Cinnamon, and it's over there, and by the magic of video, we are there right now. That was fun. Beats walking too. Here's Candy Cinnamon. Jen, still got a number, PO181, and well, it's pretty self-explanatory with the novelty color. They have it next to another Dooman variety, Viking Cinnamon. You see the real pretty dappled pink color with the green tinge coming through. Beautiful, beautiful tabletop habit. Nice. I think this would make a great florist variety, a high-end variety. And it's, as we said, 8.5 week, and well, you'll have to give it a try. So that's Candy Cinnamon from Syngenta. Selecta, third out of our 5 breeders or so, but we'll spend most of our time on the main 4 here. They've got, well, their story is a little like Syngenta's in that they've introduced some varieties last year, and they wanted to see, are they in the marketplace? And now they are. One of those is Christmas Magic Red. Right here, Magic Red is an early season, low vigor variety. And what they're touting, and they're going after premium red, which is one of the top varieties in the marketplace. That's why they're side by side here. What they wanted to do is get a redder red. So if you look at premium, it's a little more of a bluish red. Selecta went for a scarlet red. So it's very bright, and it's a 7-week variety, so it's a good Black Friday variety. Nice cyathes in there, good branching, nice strong roots. So that's Magic Red. And there's another one, Christmas Cheer, which is sort of an improvement over Christmas Day, and it's a mid-season medium red variety. Medium vigor variety. And so that's a couple of the existing varieties that you saw in this video last year. But now we're looking for new varieties, and my notes say that there's something called SK159. That's another red that's coming out in 2020. So let's go find that one. Oh, it's the Poinsettia Trial Exercise Program. We were just over there, 2 bays over. Now we're back over here. In a minute, we're going to be over there looking at a white, but for now, SK159. You see by the 9 there, it's a late variety, a 9-week variety, a medium vigor. a later version of their variety, Christmas Eve, if you're familiar with it. Now let's pick one up and take a look at it. Good, bright color, nice shape, nice foliage color, not too dark, kind of a medium green there, and it's very upright and very, very strong, which is what everybody wants in a poinsettia these days. So that is SK159, which you're not going to see until 2020. So nice variety in the pipeline. And then the white I just mentioned is called Snowy White. That sounds promising. It's over there somewhere. What am I doing on the red aisle? Jen found it over there. Hang on, I'll be right with you. There it is. SK154, which we happen to know is called
Snowy White.
It's right in my notes there. Sure, they're illegible, but that's what it says, Snowy White. And it is, well, it's a nice, bright white. And it truly is a good, bright white. Is it more white? I mean, we see some others, another experimental from Beacon Camp, and Candlelight White from Selecta is right next door. It's definitely whiter than their Candlelight variety. So that's a new one that'll be out for 2019. Now, we don't think of Suntory as a poinsettia breeder, but they do have euphorbias, and poinsettias are euphorbias. So, hey, I guess they're poinsettia breeders. These are actually crosses. You know these varieties, Princettia. This is pure white, and we'll show you in a second, maybe we'll overlay it right now, what that looks like compared to a white poinsettia. And then they've got dark pink, hot pink, and pink in Princettias. Small bracts, but fabulous colors. And they're great at Christmas. I think these would be really good in mixed combos with succulents, with foliage. I think there's some opportunities to use these varieties in some very high-end kind of combinations and mixes and things like that. So don't forget about those. But right now, we're going to go looking for our final breeder of the day, which is Doom and Orange. Jen and I can smell the barbecue in the other room, but we are working instead of eating, just for you guys. That's how dedicated we are. And we are dedicated enough to circle the greenhouse 8 times to find one of Dooman's new ones, Atla. Atla is well, it's pretty obviously red. This is an 8-week variety, so a good early variety. A nice, sturdy, bright red, bracts nicely across the top. This is going to be a 2019 introduction. I asked, because anytime I see an unusual name, I think, well, it's either named after the breeder's grandchild or who knows what. Atla, well, it's kind of like Atlas, because this is maybe sort of globe-shaped, but also they say it's a Nordic god. So there's a little bit of a history lesson for you there, of one form or another. And speaking of that, they've got a variety here called Basilica that we're going to go find. And I think it's somewhere over there. It's another red. I was wrong. It wasn't over there. It's over here, which means we did 3 more laps of the greenhouse to get to it. But this is, come on, gentlemen, come on through. This is a new one, 2019, next year introduction, called Basilica. And what I like about this one, well, it's later, as you can see, but that's because it's a 9-week medium vigor variety that is aimed for the fundraiser and the church crowd. And we don't want to forget those folks. Maybe like a true florist quality poinsettia. See, it's kind of, I like that it's kind of formal looking with the pointed, somewhat upright bracts. And it looks like it's going to have a good, rich red color. We'll have to see it all the way through the season, but that is a new one called Basilica. And well, Dooman asked us not to forget about Ferrara. It was just introduced last year, so it's a brand new variety, and they say it's taking off. This is another one of those that growers are adopting because it fits their business model. And this one, they say, it's a 7.5-week high vigor, very versatile, 4-inch to 10-inch. And it's great for Black Friday or for high volume growers too. So that's Ferrara from Doom and Orange. But now we're going to go after one that when she heard the name, Jen said, "Ooh, White Wonder, Mars White, Frozen, Jen." The movie, like the movie. Well, maybe not, otherwise they'd have to license it from Disney, but Frozen is a nice name for a white 9-week medium vigor variety. Let's pick it up here and give you a closer look at it. It's got a nice medium green kind of foliage. I like the pointy leaves and the pointy bracts. That's kind of interesting. Bred in California. It's kind of a, you might call it an old Eckie variety, coming out of that sort of breeding program, and it's nicely white, especially when you compare it to some of the others here. And often that means the bract is thin because that lets the whiteness show through. But in this case, they feel pretty sturdy, and they say they've tested it in Florida and other conditions and have not seen botrytis, which is what you tend to get with a thin white bract. So maybe it'll do nicely for you. So that is frozen. And now we're going to show you, and I'm pretty sure I know where these are. Get the irrigation in there. Two more novelties just right there. We don't have to walk so far, Jen. Oh, from frozen to Green Envy. Now, Green Envy is not new, but actually this Green Envy has been improved. They've given it a better habit and a better color. And they say try it in some combo planters, you know, and I think that's sort of a pale green kind of tinge. Might go great with some foliage or succulents. It's a pretty interesting color. And another interesting color, I don't think it's showing quite as well as it could, but this is a variety called Golden Glow. It's an 8-week variety. It's compact. You can kind of see that here. And this should be, they call it a canary yellow. Needs cool conditions. They've had some heat here at Heimos in St. Louis, and all these front plants were black clothed, had a little bit of heat, and in some cases caused a bit of delay. In this case, maybe didn't allow it to color up as canary yellow as it should. And because of the compact habit, think about Golden Glow for 4-inch and 6-inch pots. So, well, we have walked this greenhouse full of poinsettias 14 times. I should check the number of steps, but it was all in an effort to see 140 different poinsettias and give you, the poinsettia grower and seller, a chance to see some of the newest genetics in the marketplace. So for Jen Z, my videographer, who kept up with me the whole time, this is Chris Beytes saying, happy poinsettias, everybody.